Hi, and welcome to Family Media TV. I'm James, and this is my lovely wife, Catherine.
Today we're going to share with you how we converted our 3-in-1 crib from a stationary side to a swinging door side crib, but first we want to share with you why. So cribs have changed a lot in the last 16 years. We have 3 children ranging from 16 down to 1, and when my 16-year-old was born, they had things called drop side cribs. These are still legal to use. Those are the cribs that the sides come down and you can reach all the way down in and put your baby in and then pull the side of the crib back up and latch it into place, and it keeps the baby in the bed, but you can still bend over the bed and put your baby down there with the mattress on the lowest setting. And then 4 years later, when I had my daughter, they were still legal to use, and that's what I had. Well, fast forward 12 years, and we just had a little boy a year ago, and a lot of things have changed over the years since the first one to now. And baby equipment has definitely been advanced and changing, and I didn't even realize at first that drop side cribs had become illegal and you couldn't use them anymore because they were hurting babies. So I had a friend of ours gift us a 3-in-1 crib. It's a beautiful crib. We were really super thankful for it, but we didn't think much of it at first because when you have a newborn, your mattress is up at the highest level that you can put it, so you're just leaning over slightly and laying your tiny, between 7 pounds, if you choose to put him in the crib early, all the way until maybe a 15-pound baby, and you're just kind of leaning over, and they're not very mobile, so you can have that mattress up pretty high. I didn't really think anything of it. Until our son got a little bit older, and then it became kind of a struggle. We had to lower the mattress because he was starting to become mobile, and of course, parents don't want their children to fall over the edge of the crib, so we lowered the mattress. And when we lowered it, we didn't even put it at the lowest setting. We only had it in the middle. The very, there's the 3 settings. We just had to put it in the middle before we went all the way down to the bottom with it, because it converts to a toddler bed. And what I recognized very quickly was that this was not going to work for me. There was no way I was going to be able to reach over and put him in that crib constantly without hurting my back. I have a herniated disc in my low back. I'm older now than obviously than I was when I had my first 2 in my early 20s, and now I was 36 when I had our last son, and a lot's changed. My body has changed, so I had an injury. And once he got heavier, I really started to feel that pull on my back when I would try to lean over. And I'm sure a lot of you parents can relate, and that maybe even why you're watching this video today, to see, okay, is there a solution to this? And what we found when we started talking about how am I going to reach over and put this baby in the bed without hurting my back, without really straining, because the bending motion forward does not help, doesn't lend to, the back. Also, having the weight in the front of your hands and bending over like that, it doesn't feel good. So we kind of discussed and looked online, and there was a few options for some things that you could purchase. Drop side cribs obviously were not, a thing anymore. But what was available online was things like cribs where you could almost like I think they were handicap accessible cribs, and they were like $3,000, and they were high-end specialty items, and it just wasn't gonna work. Said there's no way. And the only other things that we found were just, again, like for handicap, which I was really, really grateful to see that they made things like that, because I didn't even know that was a thing, and I was glad, because when you don't have to deal with back pain or problems like that, you don't really think about it. So in our search for a crib that would work for us, we stumbled across a blog that a guy had done. His wife was truly handicapped in a wheelchair, and so she had the need to be able to lay her daughter in the bed without, she couldn't get up over the crib. And so he just kind of had this really great idea, and we jumped on what he had done. We thought, this is pretty cool. We like it. He just did a very simple blog. It wasn't very he didn't really just detail out everything he did, but it was enough for us to say, hey, I think we could do something similar to what he did. So we kind of jumped on that, and we fixed the crib. that would work for us. And we're going to show you that here in a little bit in our video. Unfortunately, we didn't video us actually fixing the bed. We didn't really think about that at the time. But now that it's done, we think this probably would benefit somebody else, and I'm sure there's somebody else out there looking. And if you stumbled across this video, maybe you've stumbled across a couple others like I did, and you know, the only thing that really was out there that was supposedly helpful was, you know, some doctors or chiropractors saying, you know, get a step stool and stand up on the step stool and be able to bend. You'll be able to bend over at your hips. Well, we did try that first. Just it still didn't work, you know, especially holding that weight on the front end of my body. With having the herniated disc in my lowest part of my back, it didn't work. I was just higher up trying to lean further down, and it really didn't work out. And so what we did was we ended up just deciding we were going to put some piano hinges on the side. We were going to, you know, put some latches on it, and we were going to open it. Of course, we had to think about some things like, would it be safe for Isaac? We didn't want the crib to be unsafe, because obviously there's issues there, and he was getting heavier, and there was really just no choice. So we really, you know, just kind of came up with what would the best solution be, and this is what we found. So we're going to share with you here, you know, what we did, and he's going to walk you through some of the things that he did to make the crib safe. And we're going to talk about also some of the things that, you know, like being able to cover the top of your crib with something when they're eating the paint off when they start tubing. So we're going to be able to share that with you here in a little bit. And so thanks a lot for watching. We're so glad that you joined us today. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to be showing you this really neat project. We're going to be talking to you about a crib that my awesome husband put together for me. Our son, who is now a year old, is 26 pounds. He's pretty heavy, and this has been a godsend for us, you know, as far as being able to get him in and out of bed, because he is really heavy. So we're really excited to show you right now what he's done.
So this is the crib, and the first thing you want to do if you're going to do this is make sure that your crib has a separate leg that the bed stands on from this side, and at the front is a removable piece. So this part's not actually on the floor. It wasn't whenever it came. So it doesn't support the structure of the bed. So, and on the bottom, this has a separate frame that the mattress sits on. So you're not going to be cutting into that at all. And I tried to make it where both sides swung open. Once I did that, I seen it wasn't very sturdy, so I had to go back and put some screws in here and screwed it to the mattress frame so this side doesn't swing open or move. So the first thing I did was take this front piece off right here and took it out of the baby's room and did the work outside in the shop. That way I didn't get any dust everywhere. And then I cut it right down the middle over here, just with a handsaw. Yeah, you could even make it go back further if you wanted to, if you wanted a bigger door, but you need to have it where one side is sturdy. I cut it down the middle right here, and at the bottom, cut it down there, and then I put these hinges on it, on the sides. They are about 30 inches. It's called a piano hinge. You can get them at Lowe's or Home Depot for somewhere around $8, I believe, and it comes with the screws and everything. So I just, once I already had the front cut, I brought it back up here and screwed this all together. And so you can see how the door hinges on that. You just want to push it all the way up in the corner as far as you can and put the screws on it. On these sides, I cut it at an angle here. It doesn't have to be exact. You can just make sure that your door swings open far enough. And lastly, I added these hinges. You can do a number of different type of hinges, but these seem to work best for me. And they just latch at the bottom and at the top. And you can just do that, and it would be hard for your child to ever get to that and unlatch it. The baby bed's really sturdy. You don't have to worry about them getting it open or falling out or anything.
Or pinching their fingers.
Yeah, or pinching their fingers, getting caught in there. I took a sander and just rounded off the edges of everything, and I left it just raw wood. You could put some paint on it that's safe, but I just didn't want my child eating any paint off of it or anything.
So one of the really neat things that we decided to do was right up in here, because he was eating paint off of the original wood there that you see. We went and took a fleece blanket from Walmart, and we just cut it up into like a knot style. Just cut strips up the center of it, and we just kind of tied it around this rail here to keep him from eating it, because I was coming upstairs to get him out of bed in the morning, and he would have white paint all around his face from chewing on these edges that he could get to on the inside there. So because he's teething, we just went ahead and covered that up. Because this is a 3-in-1 toddler crib and full-size bed, eventually you're going to want to take this swinging part off. So when he's old enough, which he's almost there, to be able to start reaching through here and playing with the latches and things like that, we're going to take this whole front part off, both sides. And so it's still going to be a fully intact toddler bed with these 3 sides on it, because we haven't touched or cut this part down here that he was showing you earlier. It's just still a solid piece from end to end. So the toddler bed is still going to be usable, and then the front, here obviously we won't need anymore and we'll get rid of it. And so then, that hasn't ruined the bed. It's actually just been a really big help and has saved us a lot of money. So we hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hope it was helpful for you. If you liked this video and you appreciate the information in it, just give us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave those below. And subscribe to our channel. We're going to be sharing a lot more fun family things on here and just some of our regular life. So we hope that you'll come back and join us. Thanks.